What's up, Totem Pole Nation? Welcome back to Lambo and Matt's World of Sports. Now, today we're getting into my Cowboys, and we're getting into the BS that's going on upstairs in that front office when it comes to Jerry and Steven. They're saying that they might wait till 2025 to give Dak an extension. They might let him play it out this year. Well, last time they let him play it out, he had a almost career-ending injury with his ankle being completely the wrong way on his foot. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to share my frustration with the good people of Totem Pole Nation and YouTube. And it's not anything that's going to, be super new. If you've watched any Totem Pole videos before, you know how strongly I love my Cowboys and how much I hate being a Cowboys fan at the same time. So you'll hear both sides of that from me. Lambo will give his perspective as an outsider looking in, as a Cowboys hater. Before we get into all of that, TotemPoleNation.com is the place to go to get some gear and support the boys. Shout out to Sideline Sports Network. As always, our socials are scrolling below if you wanted to give us a follow or give us something to talk about on the next episode. Without further ado, let's go right now.
Well, Dallas Cowboy fans, I know you got some nerves in you. I know the draft is a month away. I understand Jerry Jones gives y'all all the hope you need, but at the end of the season, he lets you down every single year. Now, I'm not here for the hate today. I'm here to bring realistic facts. Here's why. Because this is why I don't watch ESPN. Mr. Dan Orlovsky said that the Cowboys need to get rid of Dak Prescott. Who do you have better than Dak Prescott? Nobody. Come on. You just signed Will Grier, a former Patriot, Carolina Panther. You signed Will Grier. So you're telling me if you get rid of Dak Prescott, Will Grier is going to be your next quarterback with all those weapons that Cowboys have.
Will Grier signed back with us?
I think so. 2 days ago. 2 days ago, he got signed back, I think. By the way, right? I think
he signed with the Eagles.
Eagles, my bad. I thought y'all got a quarterback. But
we had one. We had him. He was our third string. And then when we got Trey Lance, they let him walk.
Well, okay, so you still have Trey Lance. So excuse me. Y'all think that Trey Lance is going to just take over and just be magically, what he is. Now, I understand he played a couple games in San Fran and broke the ankle, and the 49ers admitted that he wasn't, they made a mistake on that draft pick. But let's be realistic when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. You're not going to find a quarterback that's better than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott just came off the best season he's had numbers-wise. I don't need to get into the numbers. Y'all watch football. I watch football, okay? Dak Prescott is a team that has a chance to make the Super Bowl, which they don't. Here's the problem that I have with Jerry. Why do you say that you're all in a month ago, and then now you said 2 days ago or yesterday that we can win with less? How are you going to win with less? You can't win with more people. How are you going to win with less? You can't win with more talent that you have. That doesn't make sense to me. You already lost your defensive coordinator. He was the head coach of the Washington Commanders. I understand you got Mike Zimmer. Right, Mike Zimmer was an okay head coach. He was a great defensive coordinator for the Bengals, but I don't think he's just the same. I mean, you lost a couple guys. Leighton Van Der Esch had to retire, unfortunately. God rest his soul. I hope that the neck injury heals. But
he's not dead.
I'm saying he heals his neck. Hopefully, he
heals.
You
said God rest his soul.
Well, you know what I mean.
He's not dead.
I say different things when people are dead. I don't say God rest his soul. I say something else. But just hopefully he recovers. Here's my point. All right, Jerry Jones, what is your vision going forward for the Cowboys? You keep saying you're gonna step back, right? You're gonna watch it happen, and then you always have to say something. See, you bring Dak Prescott down. Then you said, "Oh, we can go as far as Dak can go." And then now you want to lift the man up. So where is that same energy when it comes to Jerry Jones, right? You only have a limited amount of time. You didn't extend Mike McCarthy, so Mike McCarthy's on 5 years of contract. Dak Prescott's on a 5 years contract. You still got to pay Micah Parsons. You still got to pay CeeDee Lamb. And where's your number 2 receiver? I know you let go of Michael Gallup, but you need a number 2 wide receiver.
Brandon Cooks
right?
is the 2. Brandon Cooks is
Well,
the 2.
You need somebody else better
You need a
than
3.
Brandon Cooks. You need a 2 and a 3. You need everybody because you can't win with less, right?
Cooks was a good 2 last year.
No, I'm not saying he wasn't good, but I'm just saying you need more than just that. You need more. You can't win with less, especially in that division when the Eagles grabbing Saquon Barkley. And here's my point when it comes to this. Y'all only signed – what happened to the free agency? I thought y'all was going to get guys. Y'all talking about going all in. How many guys have y'all signed besides Eric Kendricks? I heard y'all got what?
None.
One new player that y'all signed? Only one?
Eric is the one new player.
Well, what are y'all gonna do, Jerry? What are y'all gonna do? Are y'all all in or y'all not all in? Because this is not good, right? Y'all the 24th pick in the draft in the first round. Who are y'all gonna get? What do y'all need? What pieces do y'all need to fit y'all position in order to win a Super Bowl? I don't see y'all winning the Super Bowl, but if y'all get rid of Dak Prescott, it'd be the most dumbest mistake in the history of America. So Jerry Jones, please extend Dak, right? Because we already know what happened when he broke that foot and it was ugly. I didn't want to watch that. But when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, we hear the same thing every single year. We got the promised land. We got the players. We gonna go to the Super Bowl. And look what happens. Every single time you fold. I wish the Dallas Cowboys the best when it comes to the regular season, but they're not going to make it far. As far as me being realistic, I am not hating. If you don't extend Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are going to be the same bad Cowboys after Troy Aikman retired.
Yeah, that's like the basis of my whole point. And Bald, you know what, man? It's gonna come at some point during this episode. It will. And I know it's going to, but I'm gonna start as calmly as I can. And I'm sure just as I talk about it more, I'm just gonna get more and more mad. And then yeah, we'll see a classic Matt Cowboys tantrum. Like we normally do. But that point that you just made right there, the post Troy Aikman Cowboys were dog shit. We had Drew Bledsoe in there for a year. We had a couple other guys cycle in and out, and it was just like, just mid, bad, mid, like just a cycle of mediocrity and lower than mediocrity. And then they luck into getting Tony, like undrafted, no intention of like actually signing him until he proved himself to Parcells over like 3 off seasons. And then they molded him into being a franchise quarterback, which if we want to get specific with comparisons, they offered him his biggest deal after a season where he led the league in interceptions with 19. Let's look. He had a 28-19 touchdown interception ratio. They were 8-8. Of course they were, because this was the Jason Garrett era. 65% completion. Like the only thing that he did well in was throw interceptions that year. And what did Jerry do afterwards? Give him the biggest contract of his career. And at that point in time, really competitive money with what the league, what the quarterback was going for. It was 6 years, $108 million, $40 million guaranteed at signing, and $55 million in total guaranteed money. Quarterbacks would still be happy with that now. Maybe not top end ones, obviously, but that's a contract that at the time was very competitive with the top of the market. After he just had a shitty season, and we went 8-8. And now we want to draw a comparison to Dak, who has won the same amount of playoff games as Tony, and it's 2 for both of them. So, not much to write home about. But a lot of it, I don't think is either one of their faults. Jason Garrett is laughable at this point when you think about him being a head coach in the NFL. And Mike McCarthy is about to get run out the door this year as well. He almost did already. And personally, I think we should have hired Vrabel and brought him in instead of keeping Mike McCarthy around. Zimmer, that's a good hire, but he's there for 1 year. Mike McCarthy, like you said, 1 year. Dak has 1 year left. This, to me, seems like Jerry is trying to hedge his bets in that he built this contract bullshit stuff up, and the fact that we don't have any cap space until we restructure guys' contracts. He hasn't restructured a damn thing. Like, the flexibility is there. You can do it. You can make room. And part of that is getting this contract extension done with Dak. Like, what you said he said we were going to be all in. So we're expecting a big splash.
Bald, stop. Bald, stop. Just stop. Coach Prime is staying in Colorado. Just stop. Coach Prime and Jerry Jones will not work together because of egos. Stop.
I saw no. They've been having like dinners and shit, dude. And Shador and Prime have already. So I was gonna get to this, Ball. Thank you for bringing it up. It seems to me like Jerry is hedging his bet right now. It's like if you put money line on this team over here, and you know if you lose, you're gonna lose this much. So then you go and bet on the other team to where if you win that money back, right? That's what he's doing here. He's given Mike and Dak, both Mikes and Dak, this year as like, all right, go do what you can with this team that I'm putting on the field for you, knowing that the cap is going to go up probably again the following year. But this year, like, they've got extra cap room because the cap has gone up. I'm sure they'll make minor signings and stuff, but they're not going to go all in. And then next year, depending on how this one goes, Jerry has a clean slate of coordinators, head coach, quarterback, and you can re-sign CD, and that's your cornerstone you build around with Shador or Coach Prime or both going to Dallas next year. Now, think about this from a Jerry Jones perspective, not a football perspective. Because do I think the best thing for the Dallas Cowboys is to have the Prime reality show showing up there when we're already the Dallas Cowboys and get the most unnecessary attention and annoying attention in the league already? No, I don't think that would be good for the organization. Would I love Shador on the team? Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Would I love Prime as a coach? I don't know. He's been kind of vocal that he doesn't want to coach NFL guys. So, like, I don't know about that. But the Shador thing, I really do believe that Jerry is not above it when it comes to – I mean, he's a businessman. He's a brutal businessman that loved signing Tony after one of his worst seasons, but after Dak's best season, he's holding out. But he's a businessman, and I could see him pulling some shady shit like this and just setting up this team not to fail, but knowingly not doing everything he can to make it succeed, to where like the blame is going to be on somebody else. And the thing that pisses me off, because I see it every day on social media, is, especially since this news has come out with Dak, everyone's like, oh, good. Like, they need to get rid of him. Like, he's mid, blah, blah, blah. 2-4 in the playoffs, 2-5, whatever in the playoffs. Dude, in the playoffs, Dak Prescott, 92 passer rating with 1,900 yards, 14 touchdowns to 7 picks. Now, that is in 7 games. So we don't want 7-7 when it comes to games to interceptions. But we can also point out that a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio in the grand scheme of things is got you pretty high on that list. Remember earlier this year, or earlier in the football season, I should say, I brought up the top QB touchdown to interception ratios of all time. And remember who was in the top 5 of that? Dak Prescott. Yeah. Like, can we get our heads out of our asses for 2 seconds and out of, the grips of ESPN and everyone who wants to Dude, I thought you could still have made the case by the end of the year that now obviously Lamar's case was better, but I think that there was an argument for him to still be MVP this past year. Now that's more looking at numbers, less looking at if you were to take Lamar off of that Baltimore team last year, how many games do they win? Like that, I think exemplifies value. So it was right for Lamar to win most valuable player. But you very easily could have made the argument for Dak last year as well. So I agree. And all these people just talking crazy about him after he threw the ball almost 70% this year. Almost 70. That's like Aaron Rodgers shit. 36-9, leading the league in touchdowns. Like, I've already gone over this shit before, dude. It shouldn't be something crazy. 2 years ago, he threw 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Like that, and he didn't even win comeback player of the year after that, which was a little crazy. But he had basically the same ratio of touchdowns to interceptions 2 years ago. And people are acting like this is a brand new Dak Prescott that we're seeing. It's not. He's been good. Dallas wasted 4 years, the first 4 years of his career. This is Jerry wasting it when he was on a cheap deal. And then when he needed an extension, we didn't give it to him, broke his ankle, then we give him money. Now he's going back in, asking for an extension with 1 year left on the deal, which could help the team get better. And they're not doing it, even though we've seen in the past they did some special things for Tony. So I don't think I really got that animated in this one, so I'm proud of myself for that. But God, Jerry Jones, like it makes me want to not go on social media. But if you want content to talk about, like, you have to go on social media to learn things, basically. So, like, it's a necessary evil, I guess. I got to go on there and get mad. And then what's going on with, like, the Virginia Tech stuff and all of our coaches and players leaving and shit for basketball, I'm just having a pretty shitty week here.
You know what's funny? It's all these Twitter trolls that said get rid of Dak Prescott. But the last time
they're like real fans, like they pretend to be real Cowboys. No, they pretend to be real Cowboys fans, and it's like, dude, if you are, and I get it, a lot of football fans in the country, me for most of my life until I started to like take this kind of seriously, don't really know exactly what they're watching, and that's fair. If all you're using is the eyeball test of like, oh, this guy's really good, or oh, this guy has made some untimely errors, then like, sure, I guess you can say that he's a notorious playoff choker. But if you actually go and like watch the games and watch what's going on and not just look at, one or two plays from a game, Dak has played. Now I always preface this with this: Tom Brady was 45. All right, I get it. But he outplayed Tom Brady in his last career playoff game, sent him packing. Not even a question about it. Almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Like, I'm taking that every day. Away in Tampa Bay. Like, that's a playoff performance that is on his resume, like it or not. Like, you can't take that away. The Niners game where Pollard broke his leg or the game before Pollard broke his leg, so he didn't have a true running back in the backfield. That was the year he was going crazy. And then we had Zeke in there, and it just wasn't the same. I think that was like a 19-15 final score or something crazy like that. Like, that was a shitty game. Not a shitty game. That was a defensive game on both sides. So you want to get mad at Dak for that? How many low-scoring games are in the NFL every year? Like, a lot. That's why people lose betting on the over all the time. Like, and I could keep going, and I'm not going to, but it is unjust hate for Dak Prescott from so-called Cowboys fans that just don't know what the hell they're looking for.
Coach Ball. I understand that he retired Tom Brady, but if you really watch football, that '89 Bucs team was not good.
I don't care. That's not the point. That's not the argument.
They were not good. They fired their coaches. All the coaches got fired that season. They were not good. But I will give Dak Prescott that credit. He beat Tom Brady at 45. We knew Tom Brady was done. We knew. It's
Tom
not. It's
Brady
not
Tom Brady had just thrown his career high in passing yards the year before.
I'm talking about in the middle. I'm talking about before they got to this game. I'm talking about the way the team was with barely winning division at 89. I'm saying that we already knew that he was done because that Bucks team wasn't getting any better. That's what I'm saying. But I'm giving Dak Prescott the credit. I'm giving him the credit that he beat a 45-year-old Tom Brady. It is what it is. But when you just said the eye chest and being a real fan of football, if you really watch football, that Bucks team was not good. Like, that's not like, oh, they beat a 12-4 Bucks team. They was going back to the Super Bowl. That Bucks team wasn't going to the Super Bowl. They weren't going. We knew that the cliff was falling off. Tom Brady played until the way he played, but that year, despite his numbers, he was falling off the cliff. It is what it is. But I will give Dak Prescott credit because he's better than at least two quarterbacks in the NFC East. Better than Daniel Jones, better than Sam Howell, better than Alex Smith, whatever. How many other quarterbacks Washington and Giants ever had? Better than
And you can make the argument for the Jalen thing too. Like we have seen one season of Jalen throwing the ball at an elite level. One. We know what he can do as a dual threat. Now, I'm not questioning that he's a better runner than Dak. I'm not questioning that. Dak's also not getting the tush push every game, but that's neither here nor there. Like, there's an argument to be made if you just want to go off the numbers that he is, a top shit. I mean, the NFC is really not that deep anyway. A top 3 quarterback in the NFC. Like, and if you want to go off this past season, he's the number 1. So argue with the wall about that. That's voted on already, dog. So, like, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, we'll see what happens in the draft. The draft is April 25th to the 27th. So we'll see what the Cowboys can do. They still don't have a running back. There's rumors or speculation that they're interested in Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. But if Jerry doesn't make any moves at the running back position, I mean, you got those two open. You got to do something. If you don't sign one of those running backs, I don't know what to tell you. You will not have a run game unless you sign somebody from the draft. We'll see how many good guys running. You should get a good running back at 24. We'll see. We don't know, right?
No, it'll be in the second round. It won't be a running back in the first. It'll be in the second.
Well, we'll see what Jerry does. This is Lambo and Master of Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Total Pro Nation. We want to thank you, Silas, for the platform. Y'all have a great night. We'll see what the Cowboys can do in 2024.